as a way to just give you some variety and some variability through working out 5 days a week. We've tried to really mix it up as far as giving you some different exercises, but keeping them within the same type of exercise so that you're still getting enough stress to improve a particular motion, like the squat or the split squat, pressing motions. As we found, it's a little more difficult. Good morning, Amy. It can be a little more difficult to find a lot of rowing variations, so we'll definitely focus on that a little bit today too. What's up, Richard? Good morning. We'll start off, we'll do our warm-up. We're going to build into Turkish get-up, and then get into some exercises that are good morning, kind of putting us in positions that are a little bit different, a little bit more challenging in just a different way, that they're just kind of weird positions. And
quads are on fire.
Yeah. So we're going to start by kind of stretching those out, because so we're going to go to the bretzel, right? So, and if that position, done this a couple times now, if it's challenging for you, you can just do the couch stretch. But I do like this position because of the rotation of the upper body too. So we're going to start stacked on our side. I'm going to have one leg, the leg on the bottom, being pulled by the opposite arm. I'm going to keep my hand here to lock my legs into position. And if you're really sore, go slow, right? You don't need to tear through this, but my quads are a little tight today too. Every time that you exhale, you're trying to reach this top shoulder, and you're trying to rotate back towards the floor. As you open up, try and take some breaths from this position, right? Yep, quads are tight. We're going to go about 30 seconds or 5 really good breaths here. Another way that I've kind of varied this is that I'll just kind of come to this point where my foot is straight up towards the ceiling, and I'm thinking about pushing my hip into the ground as I pull. And just again focusing on that hip extension, so I'm squeezing my butt, and I'm trying to push my hips through the ground. I don't know if that was a modified version, or if one day I just got lazy. And other side. So from here, grabbing that bottom leg, pull it back, opening up, taking some good breaths here. I do encourage you always to think about pulling your toe up towards your face. In a lot of these positions, it just kind of reinforces that dorsiflexion and good marching, good. I assume the next person who joined was maybe Jesse. No, I don't think so. Not yet. Maybe not today. No. When you get a chance, can you turn that computer off? Alright, let's finish up with that one. And then we're going to go to all fours here. We're going to do some T-spine rotation. So from here, you can either stay tall on the hands, or you can go down to the elbows. I don't mind either way. I'm going to stay tall, just being a little taller. One hand behind the head. And then from here, you're pushing away. You're trying to reach your elbow towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're going all the way across to the opposite knee. Trying to reach the knee as much as we can. Try not to let this arm collapse though, right? And back up. So that we can go from the elbows as well.
There's Jesse.
What's up, Jesse? Rotate, really trying to open up that elbow towards the ceiling. 5 of these on each side. Give it a good pause at the top. Really work through your range of motion here at the top. Also, let your eyes follow the direction of your elbow. If you're going up, trying to get your eyes looking up towards the ceiling. If you're coming down, get your eyes going down towards your vision. Actually has a lot to do with the mobility of your neck, and so we want to be able to look around and really strengthen those muscles in our eyes too. See people with really tight necks, they tend to have issues with their ability to kind of get into their peripheral vision, or just some of those other odd vision. Once you're done with that, you're going to go back to the pretzel or the hip flexor stretch on the couch, if that's what you need to do. Just one more time with each of these as we're opening up. And then, the big reason I like that one Janelle and you might be finishing up with is when we get into the Turkish get-up, we're going to need the shoulder mobility to get into some of these positions, but then we need to be able to stabilize in those positions. So it is an interesting exercise when done well. I see it butchered a lot though, because it's okay as long as you don't hurt yourself, as long as people are trying things out and not being dangerous. But it's when they're loading a lot of weight over their head and they're not stable, it becomes kind of sketchy, and I hope that they would kind of take a step back and reconsider the safety, because that's number one, right? Stay safe. And get gains. Your guys' rest day is usually Thursdays, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've usually had it on Wednesday. From Wednesday or I guess Thursday sometimes.
Not in quarantine though.
No rest days on quarantine?
Don't know what day it is.
Yeah, right. Finish up. One more time without all fours reaching that elbow. Like I said, really try to reach through and hold that tension and pushing up through the ceiling. Morning, Jesse. So for me, I'll do it from the elbows. You can see from here. I'm gonna reach opposite. Reach. I'm looking towards the ceiling. Really use your vision to help you gain a little bit of extra mobility there. Use your eyes. Should feel like it's loosening up a little bit. Okay, so we got a couple more things we're gonna do here before we get into our Turkish get-up stuff. We're gonna go 90-90. Do that 90-90 with that plate reach. Big thing we're focusing on again is as we do things that are where we're going overhead, we want to make sure that we're keeping our rib cage in a good position. Janelle talked about that yesterday. Super important. And so I recommend getting some weight. Yeah, I don't know, medium to light. Doesn't take much. From here, I'm digging my heels down and rolling my tailbone just a bit so I feel my hamstrings, right? Pull my toes towards my face. Keeping our lower backs nice and flat. When I reach the weight overhead, I'm trying to keep my ribs down. Big exhale. That'll help you from having those ribs flare up. You see these ribs really flaring up, big exhale, get all the air out of there. The more air you get out, the more that you're kind of pushing your lower back into the floor, the less you should be arching your back. And then try not to lose the position throughout the whole thing, right? Like try to keep those ribs down the whole time. Going about 10 to 12 of these. Hamstrings and abs. Hamstrings and abs, super important. Once you're done with that, we're gonna do a reverse lunge, hands overhead. You're gonna reverse lunge, and then you're gonna rotate the elbow towards the front knee, right? So that we're getting a good twist. Change the camera angle here. So hands overhead. It's a reverse lunge. And then you're gonna rotate the, yep. Good, and up. We're gonna go 8 each side. You can alternate or you can do the same side. I don't really care. Building both of those drills that we did with the split squat, or the hip flexor stretch, and the mobility of the T-spine here. And trying to getting us warmed up. How you feeling today? Okay, back to that plate reach one more time. Just one more of each, and then we're gonna get into the mechanics of the Turkish get up. If you have a kettlebell, start light. If you have dumbbells, also, start light today. You can always work up to heavier. It's more about getting the technique, because we will do the full get up, so. Alright, let's get 10 to 12 reps here. Hamstrings and abs. First, it's the hamstrings as I dig in, almost like I'm going to bridge. More about rotating my tailbone towards my face. I should feel hamstrings before I start. As I bring that weight back. Big exhale, keeping those ribs down. I don't want those ribs popping up, especially when we get to overhead activity. And we got a couple of those today. If you ever have a heavy deadlift day where your back's feeling pretty tight, or you tweak it for some reason, this 90-90 position, abs, hamstrings, is a great way to kind of get your back to calm down. And ideally we're using these muscles more anyway when we're doing strength training, and not so much our back. But when we get real heavy on deadlift, sometimes we gotta do it. We gotta strain and go for it, and just understanding that there's risk to that, and hopefully we have some tools in our back pocket to keep us healthy and recover quickly, so we can get back to strength training, right? Once you're done there, we got one more time with those lunges. Stepping back, rotate. 16 altogether. Actually, this is giving us some glare. is cool to see the sun. But, a little bit of glare. How you feeling today, Jesse? Are you sore at all? Probably not.
She did like a million workouts yesterday.
Really? You're a machine. Should be feeling like you're loosening up now. So let's get into kind of this first position. What's up, Tasha? Can maybe adjust the camera as I go through because I'm not sure if I go to standing if it's going to be able to catch me. So in our Turkish go, we're going to start with an arm bar. What does Jesse say? You'll take a medium to light weight.
Not sore.
Not sore, of course not. So anytime that we go to load, whether it's a kettlebell or a dumbbell, we're going to start in a fetal position on our side. From here, we load, keeping our wrists nice and stacked, and we're going to roll the weight, especially as we get heavy. This is a good habit to get into. And then we're going to roll with the weight. From here, we'll press up. So with the arm bar,
Jesse's so excited to do get-ups.
oh, nice. Well, we're going to get there, yeah. We want to make sure we kind of open some things up here first. Opposite leg is going to go straight. So if I did it this way so you can see, it's in my left hand, straight. And I'm going to bring this arm back as a pillow. So when I roll, I'm going to post up here, kind of like that pretzel position, right? Like my knee is there, but the leg is now straight on the bottom. From here, we're going to work through trying to squeeze our armpit. So we've got our shoulder packed, and this is kind of the tension that we want to feel as we go through the Turkish get-up so that we're stabilizing our shoulders, right, and keeping them nice and stacked. So I'm almost thinking about like rotating, pulling in with my lat. You know, rotate out, pull in with my lat, and my lower trap is the big one. You should feel your shoulder blade kind of depressing as the muscle kind of lower on the shoulder blade is squeezing. Squeeze. We're just gonna do like, I don't know, 5 to 8, and then we'll try the other side. Again, there's some protocol we want to follow, especially as we go to heavier weight. So I'll come back. Once I bring the weight down, I'm gonna slide the weight overhead, right, on the ground to bring it to the other side. I'm not gonna throw it across my body and be crazy with it. You know, try and relax your neck, and then really just focusing when you come in to squeeze the armpit, right? So bring it in, boom. So I got load from the side. Should be starting up on the other side. Press, and then our leg is straight. So when I come over, I'm laying and I'm really working on squeezing my arm. You probably see it a little bit better from here. Squeezing my shoulder blade down and keeping it nice and stable. Traditionally, this is done with kettlebells, but you know, most of us have dumbbells, so I want to do it with that today. Just 5 to 8, building that shoulder awareness, that good squeeze, so that when we get into the get up, we have this awareness of our shoulder blades, keeping them nice and stable. I actually use this as a mobility drill sometimes too, to go flatten the hips out towards the floor as I open up. That feels pretty good. If you're pretty tight though, it might be pretty tough to do that one. Here we always load to the side. Okay, we're gonna do no weight for the first one, and we're gonna go nice and slow. And then on the next round, we can try it with a little bit of weight. Sometimes it's good to practice even with like a shoe or a yoga block to help you really control and balance your whole body. Hell yeah. Something, something. Tasha. Okay, so from here, we can pretend like we rolled with the weight, and then, boom, we press it up. From here, that same arm and the same leg are in the up position, and then I've got a leg that's down, an arm that's down. The leg and the arm that are down are about 45 degrees away from the body. This is our starting position, right? Squeeze that armpit, keep it nice and tight, own the weight. As I push and bridge over to the side that I'm getting up on, I'm gonna kind of do it at the same time. Push, pull through the ground. I'm like pulling my elbow. Sometimes we'll put a dowel or a weight here so people can literally pull themselves up. From here, my shoulders need to be stacked. If somebody were to come put more weight or press on my fist, I shouldn't really feel anything. I should feel very connected between pressing into the ground and here. From here, I'm gonna do the windshield wipe. I'm gonna wipe out and then posture up, and turning the pit of my elbow away, keeping my eye on the heavy weight. And then from here, this is where it gets kind of tricky. We did a little bit of this last week. We bridge, and the knee comes up and under. So you know you're in a good position here if the foot, the knee, and the hand are in a straight line. If you end up kind of crooked or kind of funky looking, just recorrect here while we're hand, knee, and foot in a straight line on that down side. From here, I'm gonna sit back, up. There's two ways to get to the lunge position. You can either rotate the bottom knee, which is more uncomfortable for me. I would rather do the kind of swinging this leg over so that I'm nice and squared now. And then from here, can you put the camera up a little bit? And then from here, I would step up with my weight, and now we're just gonna go in reverse. Stepping down, I gotta swing this leg back to this kind of box position, otherwise it's gonna be hard to sit back and get back down. And because you're gonna be keeping your eyes on the way to find this position of the straight line on the same side is to use your hand to track your knee straight out in front of you. Good, and then from here we're gonna come down in control, turning the pit of the elbow away from us, pushing ourselves down to the floor. What I mean by pushing is this hand is suctioning and gripping and pushing me away. I'm not falling, I'm actively creating tension to get myself down. Especially as the weight gets heavy, you'll be able to feel it more and more. Okay, let's try the other side. So now we got weight in the right hand, or just whatever hand you didn't do yet. Packing the shoulder. From here, I'm gonna bridge and pull myself up. As I squeeze, I'm still keeping an eye on the weight, right? I windshield wiper the hand, and then I posture up. I wanna make sure that the pit of my elbow is turning away from my body, towards the back wall. That's what's gonna help me pack my shoulder down. We don't wanna be shrugged in this position. We need to be like anti-shrug. And now we're gonna do the bridge, and then slide the knee under. Should be a straight line between our foot, knee, and hand. We're gonna sit back and up. I prefer the leg at the top swings, and then up, stick it, and then right back down. We're just going in reverse. Again, we gotta pivot this foot. I guess you could do it this way too, where you just open up. But you need to end up with these perpendicular to each other, right? If your legs are still parallel to each other, it's gonna be really hard to get down. Legs are perpendicular. We're gonna find our own leg. Here, swinging back under, turn the pit of that elbow away, pushing ourselves down, keeping suction to the floor, pushing ourselves away, and then we would bring it down, back to our fetal position. So if you're feeling pretty good about it, let's grab a little bit of weight. I mean, I'll just do it with a dumbbell, since that's what most people are gonna be doing it with. So, I'm only gonna start with like a 20-pound dumbbell, right? So I wanna be in control, especially with putting weight over my head. In that fetal position, I'm gonna roll with the weight. From here I'm gonna press up, keeping my armpit nice and tight. I'm gonna push, I'm gonna do that bridge and pull myself up, straight up towards the ceiling, keeping an eye on the weight the whole time. Windshield wiper, up, sit back, up, back down. I gotta open up, find my knee, find the straight line between the bottom knee, foot, hand, swing under, Turn the pit of that elbow away, pushing with the elbow, pushing away, bringing myself down in control. To go to the other side, I'm bringing the weight to the floor, sliding it overhead, racking it back up. From here, press, packing that armpit. Just like we did with the arm bar, right? Keeping that tension throughout the whole movement, staying connected with our shoulder blades. Bridge and push. You notice I'm taking a breath between each move, right? Really helping me stabilize myself. Nice. How's it feel? Can get a little bit crazy when we do the sweep under, right? So if you need to practice sweeping that leg and getting to this straight line, that's usually one of the harder parts for people. Then we gotta sit back like a hinge and then bring ourselves up. If you're doing pretty good, we're gonna go again though. What's up, Andy? I don't know if you're still in here, but other side. We're gonna do one more on each side. If you want to go a little heavier and challenge yourself, go for it. I'm pretty warmed up, so I'm gonna go for it.
20 pounds, 20 kilos.
20 pounds is 20 kilos, yeah. Alright, we're loading. If you are using the kettlebell, it can be a little bit more comfortable on the grip to grip a little bit higher or like on the side here of the, instead of just holding it square on the grip, to actually come up into the grip. And that's usually where I'll do it because it just feels good. I feel more connected. It's a little more comfortable on my arm. And then from here, I pull it in nice and close. Press. And this is where we really got to create a lot of tension, right, as we go up in weight. What?
Watch your head.
Yeah. Other side. I think this is my better side. Ooh. Nice. How's it feel, guys? Sweep the leg. See, that's another movie Janelle used to watch. Karate Kid. Sweep the leg. Alright. You can always go back and practice those Turkish get-ups once we upload the video. They're a fun activity. A lot of little different things that you could be working on there. Going forward, I'll have you start with some lighter weight with some of the stuff we're going to do here. Really thinking about kind of alternating as we do some of these things. So we're going to start with a Z press. We're shooting for, so we're seated, and we're going to be doing pressing overhead. I'm going to have you alternate the hand as you punch. You're only going to have weight in one hand. Altogether, 8 to 10 reps, focusing on your breathing. Really trying to move some air here as we're moving in opposites, right? So I'm going to exhale, punch. Really get that air moving, get that breath going. And one of the exercises we're going to do, the breathing is going to be a little bit different. It's a little funky, but if you've been here this long, then I hope that you trust me. If you have questions about it, go ahead and reach out. Happy to explain why we do what we're doing. Alright, next one we got is that tripod row. Here again, 8 to 10. There's no tempo. It's more just really thinking about rotating those shoulders as we push through the couch or the bench and row. Like try and really get all the way down, all the way through, really rotating. So again, light to medium weight so that we're really focused on good position, good movement, and not just throwing heavy weight. Again, all the way down, all the way up, right? All the way down with the shoulder blade, all the way through as I pull. All the way down, all the way up. Push through your box or your couch to help you reach that elbow up towards the ceiling. Push and pull. If it's too heavy and you're not able to get good rotation, you need to lighten the weight up. 8 to 10. What I want to do here. So we're actually going to do a lateral lunge with the weight. Again, light to medium. So you'll take that wide base, you're going to fall out and you'll have the dumbbell in the opposite hand. So as I'm here, I'm going to fall out, shifting my weight, back up, and go to the other side. We can alternate here, shift, come back up. When you go to shift, you're really trying to keep the weight in that heel of the leg that's accepting your load. You can actually push off of the arch of your foot on the other one to kind of give you a little more range of motion and kind of like rotate and push, right? Looking like an athlete. 8 each side. Breath. Next one we got, we're going to do an alternating floor press. And so, bring the camera down a little bit, please. And so, when you reach with your right hand, you're going to exhale. When you reach with your left hand, you're going to inhale. So it looks like this. Again, medium to lightweight. I'm going to use 30s for this. So from here, it's exhale. Big reach, like I'm trying to reach as far as I can towards the ceiling. Keep my lower back flat. Inhale. Left hand up. Exhale, up, right hand up. We're going to go for 20 altogether. 4, 5, 6, 8. And so it's 10 each side or 20 altogether. There is reason that we do the breathing that way. I won't get into explaining it too much other than we're all asymmetrical, and this is a way to help us kind of counter that asymmetry that we all have as human beings. If you want to learn more, just reach out. I'm happy to explain all that. Last thing we got here is we're going to do the reverse lunge with the weight coming to the opposite foot. Again, it's just 8 each side. So from here. If you're feeling your quads a lot while you're doing these, actually go into more of like a hinge position. So it would look more like I'm getting my chest kind of forward, almost like a sprinter starting position. Instead of being so upright, I'm gonna feel my quads a lot more. Hopefully as I come forward into this position, I'll feel more of my hips. So come forward, right? As long as my back stays nice and flat, should be okay to do this. Catch your breath. What's up, Jake? I don't know if he's still in here. Stop by. Back to the Z press. So on your butt, you can lean back slightly if it helps you feel your abs as you do this. Again, 8 each side, 8 to 10, somewhere in there. We're going to alternate our hands. Really reaching both ways. Should be kind of a medium to lightweight. Really working on good positioning, reaching both ways, right? Both hands really reaching, trying to get that rib cage moving. Moving some air. Once you finish up, we're going right into the tripod row. Again, if the weight, if it doesn't allow you to really reach that elbow up and get a little bit of a turn at the top, it's too heavy. I got a little quiz for you. See how well you know Janelle. How many letters did Janelle receive in high school? Sports letters. What's your guess? We know she's really good at volleyball and basketball. Those are in the same season though, right?
No. Fall and winter.
Well, there's a clue. How many letters did Janelle receive in high school?
And how many did Josh receive in high school?
Yeah, you can guess how many did Janelle get and how many did I get? Jesse says 4 for her. What about for me? Okay. Back to that alternating squat. If the weight was a little light there for you on the first time, you can go a little heavier. Or we're going wide base.
8.
8
8 for Josh?
Yeah, 8 for who?
She said 4 and 8. I don't know for who.
Again, you can push off the ball of your foot to help you kind of go over. Yeah. Any other guesses? This is just Josh is 1. You got like 3 numbers up there. It says Janelle 8, 4, 8, and 1. Okay, again, alternating in this floor press. Exhale, inhale. Keep the air moving as we go. Big reach. Really reach up as high as you can. Now 8. Josh 1. It's close. Almost. It's a pretty good guess.
You gonna leave her in suspense?
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you at all.
What?
I'll tell you tomorrow. This is how we keep them coming back. Leave them in suspense. No, I'm kidding. Janelle had 12 letters. She lettered.
12.
Yeah, her freshman year she was varsity everything, so. Crazy.
Volleyball, basketball, track.
Volleyball, basketball, track, all 4 years.
At least you gave Josh one more.
Yeah, I didn't letter in high school. I played basketball my freshman year. Got tired of it.
He was a JV star.
Well, that was in football. I tried out for football, made it on the JV team. Was too small. Ended up getting hurt. Nothing serious, just as soon as we started hitting, I was just so small, I started having lower back pain.
What do you say? Jesse got... At least Jesse's giving you credit for your drama letter, Josh.
For a what letter?
Matt guessed right. For your drama letter.
Drama?
Good job, Matt!
Yeah. I know, right? Thanks, Jesse, for having faith. Kind of glad now with all the, I mean at the time it sucked, but kind of glad now that I did play football with all the head injuries. I was lucky enough, I didn't survive that long when we started hitting, so no concussions, which is good. So you just gotta look at the positive side, right? It's so good that I wasn't that athletic. I didn't hurt myself. Well, I did that later. Matt guessed right. Sure he did.
He's just hanging out watching the workouts. Eating a cereal.
Yeah. Alright, let's finish up that round. We got one more. Starting with the Z press. Take that one. Thanks. One more round here.
You knew the 12 letters before the podcast.
I might have guessed it right if you would have quizzed me, but I don't know that I remembered it off the top of my head.
That was the first thing I said. Hi, I'm Janelle. I got 12 letters.
Yeah. It's quite the introduction. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the row next. Press. We got the row. Almost done for today. Remember, we're pushing through the couch. We're pushing and pulling. Push, pull. Really trying to alternate. Really rotate. There you go. Yeah. Pull. That's that lateral lunge. And 8 each side. Wide base. And about there. You can see my foot comes off the floor a little bit as I shift. Alright, I got another quiz for you. What sport did Janelle give up in order to be able to play volleyball? In 8th grade, she had to give up this sport.
That she played for 13 years.
She played it for 13 years. She had to give it up to play volleyball. What sport? One more time with the funky press here. We're taking that big exhale as we reach with the right hand. Inhale as we reach with the left hand. 20 reps all together. Big reach. Big inhale. Big exhale.
Water polo.
What did she say?
Jesse said soccer first.
Team soccer.
Soccer, tennis, water polo. Water polo? I'm not that good a swimmer.
Do they do that in Mercer Island? They just throw you in the water?
They have lots of water polo.
Bring the camera just a little more. Just a little more. Last time, we got those reverse lunge, alternating with the bell. And then, if you want to spend a little more time practicing those get-ups, you can finish with that. But today, keeping it pretty easy. Wednesdays are typically more of an active recovery day for me. I've tried to kind of follow that in the programming. But you know, don't let that limit you from potentially doing more work that you want to do as far as skills that you're trying to work on, or other things that you're trying to build up. If you found some weak points in your main lifts, like triceps and your push-ups, hamstrings in your squat or deadlift, like go ahead and do some accessory work like that. That's a way to fill in for like these Wednesdays or more active recovery days. Let's finish up here, 8 each side. Again, you can turn this into more of a chest down as long as your back stays flat. Help you get into your hips a little more. I know we did a lot of stuff where we might have gotten some sore quads over the last couple of days. I don't know, you might have been doing some other workouts too, Richard. I don't know what you're up to. Either way, you can turn this into more of a hip dominant exercise by bending over a little more. Janelle gave up soccer in order to play volleyball because she enjoyed the team aspect. I mean, there's a team aspect of volleyball too, but I guess it was soccer.
But not as much.
I'm always up to no good.
What?
Oh, I was telling him why he's sore in squads. I was like, yeah, he could be doing other stuff. Yeah, we'll have a podcast with Janelle coming out soon. We get to learn more about, her going from Division I athlete to coaching and her experience with that. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he is.
Thanks again for coming, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was worth your time. Learning some new skills and trying to get our heart rate up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. Tomorrow, I want to try and get you sore again. That's going to be the goal. A lot of hinging and pulling, squeezing, some tempo work. Try and earn our rest. But yeah. Podcast, yeah, should be cool. I think we're going to try and knock out a couple more of those before we got to get back to work. Got a couple other friends who want to shoot some podcasts.
Are you doing anything with it?
Been doing a bikini body workout 3 times a week. Yeah, gotta get that bikini body.
Good stuff to do.
Is that just like glute hypertrophy and abs and maybe biceps and shoulders? Yeah. Alright. Time to get some breakfast. I will catch you tomorrow. And be prepared to lift some heavier things that you got and potentially get you a little sore. Interview Matt? Yeah, I should interview Matt.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, come over. Let's do it.
He's crazy.
He is crazy. I'll bring him some Snickers if he comes to let me interview him.
No, bring him some boxes here. No, grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese? Janelle will make you grilled cheese.
What? It'll be vegan cheese though.
Let's do it. Set it up. Alright. Have a good day, guys.